Class is in session. Welcome to Finance University, the only school where the tuition is free and the degree actually pays you back. I'm your Dean of Dollars, and today we're performing a forensic audit on a piece of financial wisdom that sounds so right, it just has to be wrong.
You know, we're always told to save our money, right? Be prudent, put something away for a rainy day. But what if I told you that if every single one of us did that at the exact same time, we could actually trigger the very financial storm we're trying to save for?
Okay, let's just dive right into this. The basic idea seems totally solid, and it's a huge topic online. You see people asking all the time, if everyone saved and spent money responsibly, will the economy immediately collapse? Is that even true?
Well, this Reddit user, Bog Snubber, actually hit the nail on the head. They explained it perfectly with this wheel of money analogy. Think about it. Your spending is literally someone else's paycheck. They then use that paycheck to pay someone else. But what happens if we all decide to pull our money out of the wheel at the same time? Now, this isn't some new internet theory. Nope. This is a famous concept from one of the most influential economists of the last century, John Maynard Keynes. And he called it the paradox of thrift, a seriously counterintuitive idea.
The core idea here is pretty wild when you think about it. Good individual choices can lead to a really bad collective outcome. Keynes laid this all out way back in his 1936 bombshell of a book, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money.
And it becomes this vicious downward spiral. See, more saving leads to less spending, which means less income for businesses. So what do? They start laying people off, which means less income for everybody, and that wheel of money just grinds to a halt.
So here's the crucial point. This paradox doesn't happen all the time. It really only rears its ugly head during very specific economic crises, especially when there's a whole mountain range of debt already in the system.
If you look at this chart from a Princeton study, you can basically see the kindling for a fire. Leading up to 2008, household debt was just skyrocketing. I mean, look at the UK, from 105% to 160%. So when a shock hits the system, everyone tries to deleverage or pay down that debt all at once. That's just financial fluff for panic saving.
And this leads to what economists call a liquidity trap, which is really just a fancy way of saying the central bank is pushing on a string. They can't lower interest rates any further to get people to spend money. The engine is stalled.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Normally, lower prices should make people want to buy more stuff, right? But in this scenario, as you can see on this graph, the aggregate demand curve, that's the AD line, it's sloping backwards. This should be setting off all the flashing red lights and downward sloping arrows on your screen. It means falling prices actually make everything worse.
Now, not everyone buys into this paradox. Of course not. The Keynesian view has its rivals, especially from the Austrian School of Economics. So, it's time for a little forensic audit on the counterarguments.
So here we go. On the left, we've got Keynes, basically saying your savings can torpedo the whole economy. And on the right, we've got Friedrich Hayek and the Austrian school, and they're arguing that those exact same savings are the fuel for investment and future prosperity. It's a real battle of the titans.
The critics argue that the paradox ignores a few really key things. First, that prices should fall to attract buyers. Second, that your savings don't just vanish. They get loaned out to businesses. And third, in a globalized world, one country's savers can just fund another country's spenders.
So this brings us all the way back around to the 101 level takeaway. After all this economic theory, what does it actually mean for your wallet? Should you stop putting money in your 401k?
Absolutely not. No. The paradox isn't about individual financial responsibility. It's about collective behavior during a major crisis. In fact, it's the very reason governments send out stimulus checks. They're trying to force-feed that wheel of money when everyone else is trying to starve it.
And you know what? The logic is sound. In these specific crises moments, as this Princeton paper points out, the multiplier on government spending can be 1 or maybe even higher. That means every single dollar the government injects can directly boost the economy by $1.
So the crucial point is, don't stop saving. Your personal financial health is absolutely paramount. But it's important to understand that in a widespread panic, what's rational for you as an individual can become totally irrational for the system as a whole.
And that leaves us with a final, provocative thought. If your own personal prudence, just trying to do the right thing, can break the entire system, is the system itself the problem?
It's a question that keeps economists up at night, probably with a balance sheet messier than a college dorm room after finals week.
That's the bell for today, folks. If you want your financial degree to keep paying you back, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to join the student body. To keep the lights on here at the university, check out our affiliate links in the description and the pinned comment. It's the best way to support the channel. Remember, we drop fresh knowledge every Wednesday and Saturday. Class dismissed.